This segment is sponsored by Faith Hospice. End-of-life care can be confusing, and researching hospice providers can be overwhelming in what is already a stressful and emotional time. People are left with so many unanswered questions. What now? Where do I go? Who do I talk to? How do I get started? Well, here with some of the answers to those questions is Faith Hospice Executive Director Tammy Sue Veldkamp. Good to see you, Tammy Sue.
You too. Thank you for having me.
I am glad to. Where does a person start with hospice care? How do you get started?
Well, usually a physician or a provider would discuss hospice with you when that's appropriate, and they may have recommendations. Um, but first, it's just take time to absorb. It's a difficult decision. So to acknowledge that's difficult, and you may need time just to absorb where you're at before even looking into options.
Mm. And then there are lots of decisions to be made. I know one of them is, do you receive care in an inpatient setting for your loved one or yourself, I guess, or simply home care? You offer both, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Most of our patients are at home, but we have patients because a lot of us want to pass away at home, surrounded by our families, and it is more comfortable for our families than to have to drive back and forth somewhere. But often it's a hard thing to do to take care of a loved one, and it doesn't always fit what works best. Whether there's young children in the home and you don't want them to experience that, so it can be we say anywhere somebody lays their head. If it's under the bridge, a park bench, a long-term care facility, hospital, inpatient hospice unit, any of those places.
Mm. Uh, I know that you surround a patient with a team of expertise and caregivers. And so tell me about who's on that team and how often a patient might see those folks.
We have numerous physicians on the Faith Hospice team, so a physician as well. There's an RN case manager who manages your overall care. They would see you a minimum of once a week, more often if necessary, daily if necessary, depending on what's going on with you. There is also a nurse aide that helps with physical care. There's a chaplain to help with spiritual support, social worker, emotional support, paperwork, plans. We have a whole bunch of volunteers that assist us. And then, of course, we have a large bereavement department that helps families afterwards as well.
I suspect that you customize the care plan for each patient based on their needs and the needs of their loved ones.
Absolutely. And that choice and that individualization never goes away. I think people get afraid when they sign that paperwork of what they've done, and we let people know you can come off easily. So don't ever be afraid of making a choice and what's happened. Yeah.
I imagine the two toughest times are the signing of that paperwork in the beginning, and then when the loved one has passed, and you have a really rigorous plan for survivors and what happens after the death, right?
For sure. Yeah. Our bereavement department is great. Janet is a manager. She's very passionate about helping people through the grief process. So there's one-on-one counseling, there's groups, there's mailings, there's different activities they do, lots of options because grief is very different for everybody. And along the journey is different. So I might be doing great now, in 6 months and a year, I need help. And so they're there for that.
Wonderful assurance for sure. All right. Well, we want to let folks know you can learn more about Faith Hospice on their website or by calling the number you see there on your screen. It's 616-235-5113. The website, faithhospicecare.org. Tammy Sue, thank you so much.
Thank you. Much appreciated.